Welcome back. This is one of those debates. It's complicated, first of all, and there's also, I think, compelling arguments on both sides of this. And I think part of the problem is some people have tried to make Snowden a hero, and by no means.
No ways.
Right. But we learned a lot through that. The people said, wait a second. The phone company that I'm paying a monthly fee to, they don't even have to go to a court to get the phone company to necessarily give records, metadata albeit, over who's calling who and where. And not all of them are international calls. There's sometimes a domestic component. And then...
And with no judge.
With no judge
looking at this.
And I guess my only question is, I don't think that we should have to go notify every single person if they're being asked. But shouldn't we have one layer between the intelligence gathering agencies and even if it's the judicial branch somewhere else that at least says it's okay, go?
See, I think we do have a layer and you don't. I mean, you know, I knew for 20 years that we spy on foreign businesses and that we spy on world leaders, and guess what? They spy on us. And if they're shocked that we spy on them, what a joke.
But,
I mean,
but when you're talking about American citizens,
okay,
American citizens have that right.
So let's clarify one American citizen. I'm a known terrorist overseas. I've
always wondered about you.
And we have Dominic and I have a conversation. They have a right to tap me. Sorry, Dominic, that you're on the phone, but they don't have to get a wiretap to listen to you if they have a wiretap.
And that's great policy as far as I'm concerned.
But I don't think anybody's arguing that. I mean, the fact that you're in communication with a known terrorist automatically puts you in the purview of somebody.
But he may not know I'm a known terrorist. We may have just had a general conversation.
So then should every conversation that Dominic has from now until the end of time be monitored? Should his metadata be collected? Should his emails be tracked? Should he be on the no-fly list?
If they did, they have to go to the FISA court.
Do you see the technology, even if we ascribe nothing but noble intent and motives to all the intelligence agencies, okay, so let's take that off the table. Do you see that technology has evolved much faster than anyone imagined, and that it's so far ahead of both law and then also boundaries? I don't think people know where it starts and stops.
And just think that before he was informed, President Obama was against all of this. And when he became president, something happened. He got to learn a little bit more than he didn't know before.
He also became president. Nobody wants to give up power when you're president.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
No
one wants to be responsible for these likely things. A nuclear explosion in the United States, a radioactive explosion, you name it, it will happen. It's going to happen, guys. It will happen. The question is when. And when it happens, you all are going to blame the government for not stopping.
No, but I don't seem to agree with you in this respect. I don't think Snowden's a hero, and we agree on that. But I do think that you can have privacy and you can have protection to a degree. I don't believe in fairies and unicorns and all the rest, but I do think that I don't just have to trust on blind faith. Hey, do whatever you want with my information, and nobody should even get a pass here that you're abusing. We've seen through American history, from the Alien Sedition Act, we saw the internment of the Japanese, we saw obviously with what the Church Commission found. We've seen time and time, when there's too much unchecked power, it always leads to abuse.
You gotta have
it's
check
healthy
power.
to have some check and balances. Not too many, just some. That's all I'm saying.
And see, I think the FISA court is that protection.
When they go to them, the problem is they're not going to them to the degree that they were intended, and that came out in the report today.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's been a rubber stamp. There have been hardly. The problem is, look, I understand your balance. You tip the scales in the balance of protecting the country. I'm asking, and others would ask, what country are you protecting? Civil liberties are the basis of the country, and everybody has those rights. If you're going to protect the people but not protect their rights, are you really protecting the country?
Well, it's a great debate. You know, the public decides they want to be on Facebook, and I hope the government looks at every Facebook to make sure.
They probably do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got it. The dirty secret is, I think at the end of the day, this is a fascinating debate. I think the American public has said this ship already sailed.
The American public has already decided on this, Richard. It's not an issue to most people.
I disagree with that. I really do. The ship has sailed.
That's
on this
because
debate.
it's a personal issue for you.
No, it's really not, and I don't appreciate that.
Okay, but every time,
when it comes to Facebook or Apple or what they're doing with their by choice, that's one thing. But when it's the government who does it, when it's the government who can put you in jail for the rest of your life People have a different view of it.
Yeah, but you do have a court case if you're in jail the rest of your life. I mean, you did something wrong.
Unless you're sitting in Gitmo, but that's for another debate. Today, Washington had a chance to solve an issue that we knew the deadline was coming, and that's on unemployment insurance. And once again, Washington ducked and weaved, and they really didn't do anything. We'll talk about that and what it means after this.